गणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारम् व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Let us take in Shiva Shakti in 5 deep breaths. Om Shiva Shakti 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 अविनयमपनय विष्णो दमय मनः शमय विषय मृगतृष्णा भूतदयां विस्तारय तारय संसारसागरतः दिव्यधुनीमकरन्दे परिमल परिभोग सच्चिदानन्दे श्रीपति पदारविन्दे भवभय खेदच्छिदे वन्दे सत्यपि भेदापगमे नातथवाहम् न मामकीर्णस्त्वं सामुद्रो हि तरङ्गः
क्वचन समुद्रो न तरङ्गः उद्धृतनगनगभिदनुज धनुज कुलामित्र मित्र शशि दृष्टे दृष्टे भवति प्रभवति न भवति किं भवति रस्कारः मत्स्यादिभिरवतारैरवतारवतावता सदा वसुधा परमेश्वर परिपाल्यो भवता भवताप भीतोऽहम् दामोदर गुणमन्दिर सुन्दर वदनारविन्द गोविन्द भव जलधि मथन मन्दर परमन्दरमपनय त्वम् नारायण करुणामय नारायण करुणामय नारायण करुणामय नारायण करुणामय नारायण करुणामय शरणं करवाणि तावको चरणम् इति षट्पदी मदीये वदन सरोजे सदा वसतु। Vishnu Shatpadi. It is another one more stotra by our Adi Shankaracharya, in which his poetic excellence, philosophical excellence, that spiritual inspiration just pours out without any limit. Vishnu Shatpadi. Who is Vishnu? Vishnu. One who pervades all, everything, the whole manifestation. He pervades and he penetrates. That is his speciality. That is his characteristic, that energy. Vishnu. When we think of Supreme Brahman as Saguna Brahman with form and qualities, it is always the combination of Shiva, Shakti, and Vishnu. All three together is Saguna Brahman. Shiva, the pure consciousness. Shakti, the power which activates that consciousness. And Vishnu, carrying that activated consciousness to the whole manifestation. So that is the greatness of Saguna Brahma, the Supreme Absolute, as in the form. It can be in any form. It can be in the form of Ganesha, Subramanya, Shiva, Lakshmi, Parvati, Durga, you name it. As Saguna Brahma, they have all the three in them, all the three important powers in them. So we cannot distinct between Shiva and Vishnu or Shakti all three are together as Saguna Brahman. That Vishnu is praised in Shatpadi. Shatpadi also has deep meaning. The first meaning is Shatpadi. That stotra, which has 6 stanzas, pada, that which is having 6 stanzas are the verses, shlokas, are called Shatpadi. The second meaning of the word Shatpadi is that which has 6 feet. So that is referred to honeybee, bumblebee, any bees are called Shatpadi. And the third meaning is all Jivatmas, the human being, is Shatpadi because he is having the 5 senses and the mind as the feet. So human being is also considered Shatpadi in this way. Vishnu Shatpadi. So being that honeybee, a Jivatma should apply all the 6 feet to move towards the lotus, Aravinda, which is Vishnu. So, Vishnu Shatpadi, Jivatma, if at all wants to progress towards that lotus like Vishnu, whose every part of Vishnu is lotus. Kararavindena padaravindam mukharavinde viniveshayantam. So like that, his feet are lotus. His hands are lotus. His face is lotus. His mouth is also lotus. So, if a Jivatma, a seeker, a devotee wants to move towards that lotus as a honeybee trying to get the nectar, one has to move with all the 6 feet, which are there, all the 5 senses and the mind. Vishnu Shatpadi. And in this stotra, as Vishnu Shatpadi, Shankaracharya guides us how to move towards him. How karma, bhakti, and jnana marga can be incorporated like a plant going together hand in hand. So let us enjoy knowing more about this Shatpadi. Avinayam apanaya Vishnu damaya manah shamaya vishaya mrigatrishna bhodadayam vistaraya taraya samsara sagarataha. This is a genuine pleading of a bhakta, a seeker, who can be the beginner to who is moving in the path of spiritual awakening. Or it can be seasoned sadhaka, the seeker or the devotee, who has already enjoyed to some extent what that bhakti is, what that jnana about Vishnu is. And even the realized souls who are floating in the happiness of Vishnu. So this Shatpadi refers to all the three. So here in this first one, Avinayam Apanaya Vishnu. Please drive away, remove the immodesty, arrogance from me. Avinayam Apanaya Vishnu. Hey Vishnu. Avinayam. What is that Avinayam? Vinaya means graciousness, courteousness, mildness towards inferiors, having the nicety, both physically and also mentally, emotionally, and even through the speech, through the thoughts, there will be nicety. That is Vinaya. It is not a weakness, but it is virtue. As it is seen in other cultures, Vinaya considered many times as a weakness to come up in life, to achieve something. But in the long run, when we take it holistically, a Jivatma in his life and the beyond, this same Vinaya becomes a virtue. Vinaya. And Avinaya is opposite of that. Being immodest and always thinking about the ego and the self-interest. So that brings out that immodesty, arrogance. The ego is boosted to the maximum. Avinaya. Why? That Avinaya is nothing but the dirty game of the mind which plays to survive itself. The ego, the mind, starts boosting the energy of that ego, which brings out as arrogance, immodesty. So what happens? How does that ego survive? By feeding the mind, the intellect, everything. World is there for my sake, for my pleasures. And the world revolves around me. Everything is under my control. I am. So all his actions will be gearing up towards that. In this process, his mind, thoughts, behavior becomes very arrogant and immodest. That Avinaya will not help a person to grow beyond the body and the mind awareness. He will be always limited to this body and the mind. Avinaya. That has to go. Apanaya. O Vishnu, please take away, drive away that Avinaya. So, ego does not understand that it is only a very small, negligible part or the role which it is playing, that false ego, mind, in the mega drama of the whole manifestation. It is only a small particle. But by making that as the primary thing and thinking that the whole world revolves around it, is only pushing it down, making it being pinned into this samsara. So Avinaya is not good at all at any cost to anyone. That has to go. Only when that I am, that ego, which is the mind, part of the Antakarana, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, that Ahankara, the third one. When that realization comes, I'm only small part of the whole world. When that clear knowledge comes, the real I opens. That is, Atma opens up. Only that Atma, which is unlimited, can claim, I am the one who is holding the mind. In that mind is the body. In that body are the five senses. So only that Atma as the third circle, the hugest circle, which is ever expansive with no limitation. That is the base, Atma. Only that can claim and say, I am the one who is bearing, holding the whole manifestation, which is the truth. In that is the mind. In that mind is the body. In that body are the five senses through which we are interacting in the world. So to understand this also, Vinaya helps a lot. Vinaya. That modesty should be there. That humbleness should be there. Vidya dadati vinayam. Vinayat dhyati patratam. Patratvat dhanam apnoti. Dhanat dharmam tata sukham. So for the final sukha, for one to attain in this world, it is the Vinaya, is the first thing. One has to have that Vinaya. Avinaya should not be there, so Apanaya. Oh Vishnu, please drive away that arrogance, immodesty. Vidya, Vinaya, Sampanna, we also say. Why after Vidya comes the Vinaya? Not any other greatness or the qualities. It is Vinaya. Vidya, Vinaya, Sampanna, they say. Isn't it? And also, the empty vessels make the most noise. How? Why? It is the game of that ego, the arrogant ego, which brings this negativity into the life. Namanti phalino vriksha, namanti gunino janaha, shushka kashtascha, murkhascha, na namanti kadachana. A tree which is filled with fruits, that fruit is the final product. A tree with so many fruits normally bend down. Just like a person having lots of knowledge, the real knowledge, vidya, they always become humble, vinaya. Because that vidya gives that natural humbleness, vinaya. Whereas the dry stick will never bend like the murkha, like an ignorant person. When they have to bend, they will not bend smoothly, but they break, which is of no use. It is destruction. So, Vinaya is the very first step which makes or gives a green signal to proceed further, to go towards Vishnu. Damaya Manah is silence the mind, suppress that mind which is talking too much with lots of thoughts every second, that too disjoint thoughts. The mind is running everywhere. That mind, Damaya, control, master. Oh Vishnu, help me to master that mind, to control that mind, which is very, very active. Because mind is the bridge, very important role it is playing. But with ignorance, it is not doing its job properly. How and why? Mind is the bridge between Iha and Para. So that mind can move towards Iha, the physical world, being attracted towards the objects of the world, pleasures of the world, and it can pull down the being, the whole being. But if it is controlled, it can pull up the being towards Para, the beyond. So that mind has to be controlled in the right way. Damaya Manah. And then Shamaya Vishaya Mriga Trishnam. Shamaya, pacify, cool it down, cease, still. What is it? Shamaya. What should be cooled? What should be calmed? Or what should be pacified? What should be quenched? These are all the meaning for Shamaya. Vishaya Mriga Trishnam. Vishaya is the pleasures of the objects of the world. Those objects which are attracting all the five senses, the mind and the intellect towards it, Vishaya. And how are they? Like Mriga Trishna. Mriga Trishna is the mirage. The objects of the pleasures of five senses, Vishaya, are very much like mirage. That, please make it calm down. The desires for kama for the objects. Why mirage? In what way we can understand this? Any object of perception makes an impression on the mind. And there will be reaction towards it, whether I want it or whether it could be I dislike it, I don't want it, I want it, I love to have it, I want the connection with it. So like that, the mind starts playing towards the objects. And it is like mirage, those objects and the desire for those objects, the pleasures which I seek in those objects are like running behind the water to seek in mirage. What happens in during summer in deserts or in a plain where the surface is flat? We see the water right in front and we are very thirsty. Thinking that there is water, we go run behind that mirage. But as we go closer, it is not there. Again, within few steps, I see another mirage right in front. I run towards that, thinking that there is water. Again, I find that there is no water as I move. So like that, it keeps making me go further and further and further, trying to catch the water in mirage, one after another, one after another, one after another. So, in the same way, the objects, the desire for those objects give the impression that I will be really satisfied, I will be really happy if I have that object with me. So I run behind it. Once I get that object, the satisfaction of having that will break within few days, months, and a new desire will come, something attached with that. And I aim for that desire. Again, it gives me the same displeasure after a while. And again, I am running behind another new desire. So this running will keep going, object after object after object, which will never end. Like the search for water keeps going further and further and further in each mirage. So, yes, I do see water in the mirage. There is water in the mirage. In the same way, I do see the objects which are promising me some kind of happiness, some kind of pleasure, some kind of satisfaction. But once I get into it, I realize it's not long lasting. So I am all the time in the dissatisfaction. That dissatisfaction makes me become pinned to the whole samsara, where I'm stuck with searching one after another object, or even the relationships. I run behind it, thinking that probably this relationship with this person will make me really happy. And next. Like that, we keep moving. But it is very much like mirage, which keeps escaping from our hands. Mrigatrishna. But if Vishnu's grace is there on us, when the mind is really attached with lots of devotion and love towards that Vishnu, he gives the knowledge that, oh dear, the whole world is nothing but mirage. The whole world is mirage. So what will you hang on to when it is mirage? Nothing is there. So it will be like something in the mirror as a reflection, but I can see it. It promises, but I cannot really experience it. So that knowledge will help us. That's the reason Shamaya Vishaya Mrigatrishna. So first one was Avinayam Apanayam. Second is Shamaya Vishaya Mrigatrishna. All these things is possible if Damaya Manaha, the control of mind, is there strongly. If we are able to silence that mind, these things can be had. And what are the other qualities needed? Bhutadayam Vistaraya. This is beautiful. Bhutadayam, the compassion in all living beings. Bhutadayam Vistaraya. Please expand that compassion in me. towards all beings. So how can we understand this? Daya, compassion. That daya is, it is sympathetic awareness of the distress or pain, sorrow of others, along with having the desire to alleviate that sorrow or hardship what they are going through. But normally what we think, what we do, practically what do we think and what do we do when we see a person in distress? We sympathize. Ayyo, why did it happen like this? I can't even see this. Oh, no, no, no. But what is the use of feeling that? It is only a sympathetic response. It is emotional response, which is there within me. It is not reaching that person. I have to have the sympathy towards that person and understand what that person is going through. And the very next step should be to alleviate, to take away that sorrow from that person, take away that pain from that person. Only then it shows I have daya in me. I have the compassion in me. Compatibility with passion is compassion. So, daya is not sympathetically showing the emotion. It is sympathetic response plus an action to take away or to bring away the sorrow, pain of the person. That is daya, compassion. So imagine this is another step, the second step. If we have this kind of readiness to have compassion towards the people around us, maybe in a family, and then the neighborhood, and then the society, and then the nation, and then the world, among all human beings. Vistaraya, it is not just for human beings, that should expand to other creatures, to other animals, birds, all living beings, and then to the plant kingdom as well. Show compassion, sympathize with the plant which I have at home and take care of it. That is daya. So, even to the plants around me, all the plants in the nation, and then the world. So, like that, Vistaraya, please expand that compassion towards the whole manifestation. And this compassion can be in different ways. It is not always physical. It can be mentally also. If I am able to take away the sorrow or misery which a person is feeling, that is also compassion. Emotionally. Spiritually also, one should have the compassion. So it is of different kinds and different levels. In all possible ways, O Vishnu, Vistaraya, please expand it. Daya. Dayavillada dharma yavudaya. Basavanna, he asked that question. Is there any dharma which doesn't have that compassion as part of itself? that should be there. So even for a spiritual seeker to a devotee, this compassion becomes part of him and part of his spiritual progression. So, Taraya samsara sagarataha. Make me cross the ocean of this samsara, the worldly existence, as Jivatma. Taraya is make me cross. What does it mean? How can one cross the ocean of samsara, the existence in this world, and go through the turmoil, afflictions as Jivatma? So, when a person is ignorantly thinking, I am the body, I am the mind, naturally, he separates himself from the rest of the whole manifestation. So that separation, that veil, makes him go through this unwanted afflictions of the existence in this world. That is called samsara. If that veil is not there, existence in this world will not be samsara, but it will be ananda sagara. He will be enjoying the world with lots of bliss every moment of his life. So, taraya samsara sagarataha. So here what we can understand is samsara is persistently giving us the pain and the sorrow, sprinkled with happiness here and there. But we are so experienced and experts in adjusting ourselves with the sorrow, which we are by coolly blinding ourselves towards that, because that ananda, the sprinkle masala, is attracting us. But when a time comes that I realize the sorrow is more when compared to the sprinkle of joy in between, that is when I feel this is nothing but samsara. This is nothing but the ups and downs which are going through in my life is nothing but turmoil. When one realizes that, only then the words from his thought comes, Taraya samsara sagarataha. So this shows that everyone is eligible to have that bliss every moment. Every moment. We are all eligible. But we are veiling the truth. And because we are becoming the perfect, I am the body, I am the mind being, we are unnecessarily going through that turmoil, which is sprinkled with happiness here and there. When do we experience it? After going through so many janmas, in one janma, we realize that other than this physical world, which I'm living day and night, there is something which is beyond, where everything is nothing but bliss. I am eligible for that. So I should strive for it. Then I start my seeking, if that is the case, how to have that bliss. And slowly it opens up towards going towards Vishnu and realize he's very much within as Atma. And the bliss is also within Atma. And I'm eligible candidate. So let me have that bliss. Taraya samsara sagarataha. So once we enter into this spiritual world, which is very much part of our physical world as well, but when the mind is pivoting around that supreme Brahman, it can be Saguna or Nirguna. When that becomes the focal point of our life, naturally, all these gunas will become part of us. As we keep progressing in devotion, in bhakti, or even in Jnana Marga, we do realize this. We do develop these qualities. It is part of the growth in this path. So, Shankaracharya is telling indirectly, he's asking Avinayam Apanaya Vishnu. He's talking as if he's asking for, give me that Vinaya by driving away the Avinaya. And Damaya Mana, make my mind well controlled, well poised. Should we think that Shankaracharya didn't have all these things? He had. But by the way he has put the words, it shows that this shloka, this particular shloka, the first one, refers to all the three. All the three. The one who is starting the journey. One, the seeker, the budding seeker, the senior seeker, and then the realized master. How can we understand the realized master? Being the devotee or the seeker of Vishnu, who is all pervasive, that realized master is also all pervasive, and he is sympathizing, he is living as the all beings, and he do see different people or different beings in different levels. So when he feels one with it, one with all beings, he sees the difference, and he is making that prayer on behalf of those people, isn't it? For example, in Kanakadhara Stotra, he did not want that golden berries, but he said, "Oh Lakshmi, please show your compassion, grace on me." On me, he said. Means what? He was feeling one with that lady. He had become that lady, and he was praying. In the same way here, the realized person who feels one with all beings, "Oh Vishnu, please give all these qualities to me." To me means he has become that person who needs it. So it refers to all. It refers to all. Next one. Divya dhuni makarande parimala paribhoga satchidanande Shripati padara vinde bhava bhaya kheda chide vande. Shripati padara vinde. One day I bow down to the lotus feet of Shripati, the Lord of Sri Lakshmi. How is that feet? I bow down to the feet, which are lotus-like. And it is having Divya Dhuni, that Ganga, as Makaranda, the nectar. Parimala Paribhoga Satchidanande. And it is also filled with the fragrance, the feet, lotus feet of Vishnu is having that parimala, the sweet fragrance. What is it? It is very unique, very precious. Satchidananda. It is emitting the fragrance, which is pure consciousness, which is blissful and which is eternally existing. Satchidananda as the fragrance. Is that all? It has the capacity to bhava bhaya kheda. Bhava bhaya, the fear of existing on this world, existence as Jivatma in this world, which brings bhaya and also kheda. Kheda means afflictions, sorrow, pain. Chide, one, the feet can destroy, it can cut through, destroy. To those feet, I bow down. So, the lotus feet of Vishnu has so many supreme qualities in it. Now let us see in detail. One day, I bow down, I prostrate, I surrender. Who is that? I. It is again the false I, the egoistic I, ahankara. It is the mind. I surrender that mind at the feet. So, it is the sukshma sharira, it is the mind which is entangled with unfulfilled tendencies as vasana, which is carrying as baggage from so many births. So it is that sukshma sharira, the mental body. If I surrender that at the feet of Vishnu, naturally the baggage will become lighter and lighter and lighter. So that surrender one day is very, very important. Why that one day is prostrating, bowing down? That is the best thing to do. Where there is not even energy or the power or the mental arrogance or I am. Even to say that, I need some amount of energy and consciousness. So if I'm sticking that I will be always standing straight and say, I am. But if I have to surrender, means you are surrendering that also, and you are becoming zero, being flat in Danda Namaskara. You are not having that ego even to this extent. So one day the surrender should be in that manner. One day, to whom I bow down, to whom? Shripati Padara Vinde, to the feet of Vishnu. Who is that Vishnu? Shripati. Shri is the Kriya Shakti, Lakshmi. Shri also represents prosperity, wealth. It represents beauty, illumination. Shri is that. The prosperity, to what extent one can go. The whole manifestation is Shri, isn't it? One can think of wealth. It can be one house or one nation or one world, but even 14 lokas can also become the wealth, prosperity. So that way, the whole manifestation is called Shri, Shri Mata. That is how Lalita Sahasranama starts. That Shri Mata, Shri, is the power, energy of Vishnu. And Vishnu is that Lord of that power, Shri. So there is very good connection between Shri and Pati. Shri Pati. The feet of that Shri Pati, can you imagine? The whole universe is his pada. Bhupado, yasya. Isn't it? The whole earth is his pada. Shri. Shripati Pada. And it is like Aravinda. Aravinda is lotus. Why Aravinda? What's the meaning of that word? Ravinda means the darkness of the night, which is opposite of sun, or which denies Ravi, the sun. That is Ravinda. Aravinda is that which opposes the Ravinda, the night or the darkness. Because the lotus is closely associated with the sun, the lotus is called Aravinda. So here, his feet are like that bright, radiant lotus, which is bringing the knowledge, Sat, Chit, Ananda, also in that. And that Aravinda has Divya Dhuni Makaranda, that Ganga. Ganga originated from Vishnu's pada. So, Ganga, she is Suragange. Her original abode is the heaven. From there, she goes all the way to nether worlds. She travels in all the three worlds. How? She is there in the heaven, and then as snow, as rain, she comes down, pours down to Himalaya. And then from there, she flows as Ganga river, and she enters the ocean and reaches the nether worlds on the way down. So it is that Ganga who entered the earth by entering the jata of Shiva. So that means Ganga has the DNA of both Vishnu and Shiva. So how powerful she should be, Ganga. And she is giving that sweetness of both Vishnu and Shiva, all pervasiveness of Vishnu, the consciousness of Shiva, the auspiciousness of Shiva. She's carrying with her as Makaranda, the nectar. Divya Dhuni Makarande. Parimala Paribhoga Satchidanande. So, ever enjoyable fragrance is existence, Sat Chit, that awareness, Ananda, the bliss, is the fragrance which that lotus feet emitting. Imagine inhaling that all the time. So, bhoga, how to inhale that, how to enjoy that, parimala paribhoga. How can we do it? With pure devotion and love towards Vishnu, towards that Padaravinda, will make us come away from this worldly attachments, and the mind becomes pure and it travels towards fragrant lotus feet, which is emitting Satchidananda Parimala. It is that Parimala, like it intoxicates, even to visualize that Padaravinda with Ganga as the Makaranda and Satchidananda as its fragrance, even to visualize that, it already brings in that joy from within. So it gives the realization what that Ishvara is, what this world is, what I am. It gives the knowledge of supreme reality. So getting connected with this Padaravinda will bring us oneness with that Vishnu, who is the supreme absolute. Bhava Bhaya Kheda. Bhava Bhaya is the fear which is there in so many different ways, in different levels, different intensities of different kinds. The fear. We do go through it. We do experience that fear, but in different ways and different levels. Why? Because of that, the primary fear, which is Bhava Bhaya, being existing in this physical world, which is Martya Loka, which is the Loka or the world of death. This is called Martya Loka. So, existing in this Martya Loka brings in the fear in so many ways. Because I am tuned and strongly sticking to that notion that I am the body, I am the mind, making me a very limited being as Jivatma, and I'm separating myself from the rest of the world. And so I'm inviting the fear in so many different ways because I want to assert myself to such an extent that nothing happens to this body. I have to preserve this body. Once I lose this body, my entity is gone. I am gone. That feeling makes me take care of the body to such an extent that nothing should happen to the body. Even a small pain will make me become alert about it, to get away that pain. But pain is coming in so many different ways. Mentally also it is coming. And I'm facing the death in so many ways, in different ways. The death of physical body is one. Mental death also happens. Emotional death happens. Intellectual death happens. So, with different kinds of these fears is bhava bhaya, which is happening because I am thinking I am the body, I am the mind, and I have to protect my body and the mind so that I will be there eternally. This notion is making me go through so much of turmoil in life as experiences, which brings me kheda, the sorrow, depression. When I surrendered to the lotus feet of Vishnu, when I constantly think of that Padaravinda, surrender to that, naturally the realization and the veil is taken out, and I understand who I am, what that Ishvara is, what this world is, why I am going through this turmoil. That knowledge blossoms, and I do experience oneness with the Padaravinda of Vishnu. So, by surrendering to him, I'm saying Bhava Bhaya Kheda Chide. That lotus feet has that capacity in it to take away the Bhava Bhaya, the fear of existence in this Martya Loka, and Kheda, the sorrow. So, Bhava Bhaya and Kheda are all floating on the ocean of this ignorance. That ocean of ignorance on which all these things are floating is nothing but samsara. So from avidya sagara, please take me towards that vidya sagara, which is nothing but bliss, satchidananda sagara. The next one is satyapi bhedapagame natha tavaham na mamaki nastvam samudro hi tarangah kvachana samudro na tarangah. Natha, O Lord, Ishvara, Satyapi, in spite of the reality or the reality being, Bheda Pagame, there is no difference between you and me. The reality is that this is a philosophical shloka, Vedantic shloka, which clearly describes what the whole essence of I, Ishvara, and this world, how we are caught in this world. So that Shankaracharya is beautifully explaining in this. So Satyapi Bheda Pagame, in spite of the reality being, there is no difference between you and me. Bheda is the difference, separation. The difference is not there. That is the reality. Tavaham na mamaki svam. I belong to you, but I cannot claim you belong in me. Samudrohi tarangaha. The waves belong to the ocean, samudra. Kvachana samudro na tarangaham. However, it is never possible that the ocean is belonging in the waves. I will tell you once again. In spite of the reality being, there is no difference between you and me. Yet, I belong to you. I am in you. But I cannot claim you are, that is the Supreme, in me. You don't belong in me. Just like the waves belong to the ocean. The waves are in the ocean, but not the ocean in the waves. So now let us try to understand what it means. Bheda is division or difference or separateness. And apagama is not being there. That difference not being there. That means Satyapi Bheda Apagame. Ishvara, Jivatma are different only because of the form, quality, and the name. Otherwise, it is one and the same Atma in the eternal reality. The eternal reality is there is only one Atma, which is all pervading, all pervasive, all penetrating. There's only one Atma, which is like the ocean. In that ocean like Atma, there exists different, many Jivatmas in different forms, different sizes, different colors, species. Just like different types of waves exist in ocean. But when we see the reality, wave is also nothing but water. The ocean is also nothing but the water. In the same way, Atma is the only thing which is eternally there. In that, Ishvara is Satchidananda, who is clinging on to that Atma state, whereas I, Jivatma, is having this form as I am the body and the mind. So it is the body and the mind, name and the form, the qualities which this body and mind are carrying is the thing which is making it appear as though there is difference between him and me. But just like the ocean is also water, the waves are also water. In the same way, Ishvara is also Atma. I, the Jivatma, is also Atma. Atma is the only eternal reality. That Ishvara knows. He is living that by not clinging, by being that Satchidananda, eternally blissful consciousness. Having that state, he is appearing in different forms and names. It is not making him change his originality as Atma. He is that Atma. Whereas I have lost that capacity. Even I was the same, but I have lost that capacity to retain that Satchidananda state of existence. Because of that, I have embodied myself and I'm saying I am the body and I'm the mind, and I have forgotten that. So I have lost that capacity also. So I'm saying I'm different from you. So Samudrohi Taranga, Kvachana Samudrona Taranga. Because of this beautiful analogy, we can understand how do we describe Samudra. Samyak udrichyante taranga asmin iti samudraha. That which brings up so many tarangas up and down, it is called samudra. So waves are very much part of the ocean. In the same way, I am also very much part of that Ishvara who is Satchidananda, Atma. And just like the wave, it is taking a new name and a new form as wave. But where is it originating from? The water only. Where is it ending up itself? In the water only. How is it going up and showing itself? As water only. But it is something else which is making it look different and with a different name as wave. So when the birth Srishti, the wave which is starting its journey, wave, Srishti, Sthiti and Laya, all the three are nothing but water only, isn't it? If that is the case, I am very much you only. I am very much that water only. And not only that, I am part of you, yes. But just because I am part of you, I cannot claim, I cannot say that whole Atma, which is unlimited, eternal, is in me. I cannot contain you because you are unlimited, sarvagyapi. I am not. I am limited body and the mind. So I can't limit you in me, but I am very much part of you. Just like the water wave cannot contain the whole ocean in that wave. It's not possible. In the same way, we can also take the example of our own body and mind. In fact, that Supreme Brahman has created the whole world and created this Jivatma, every individual, in such a way that practically, demonstratively, we are getting the examples of what the world is, what that Ishvara is, what that false I is. But we are putting the thick, ignorant veil that it is not making us understand it. Anyway, let us try to understand this. I am, when I say as Alakananda, in this body and the mind, I am. That awareness I am has pervaded, encompassed every part of me as a whole. So when I say I am, it is including the whole body, all the parts of my body, my mind, emotions, intelligence, that aham as well, and the memory also. So when I say I am carrying all these things in me. Because that I am awareness has encompassed and pervaded the whole body. If one hand is itching, the other hand automatically goes and scratches it. If that I am awareness is localized, individualized to only this hand, it will be itching, 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 and this hand will never react to go and scratch it. Isn't it? Because that I am awareness has pervaded this, also this hand. In the same way, no difference at all. No difference. No difference. That I am awareness is in both the hands. So if one hand is itching, the other hand scratches it automatically, because I am is there in both the hands. In the same way that I am awareness in the whole body. It is not localized. It is not individualized. So make this scale now bigger and see. In this whole world, I have localized, I have individualized, I am awareness. I have made this body and mind as I am. So I have made myself limited. Like the wave thinking that I am the ocean. Is it ever possible? No. Because I have localized and individualized that I am awareness. I am seeing everything else as separate. If I break open that I am awareness as the body, I am awareness as this mind, I become the whole world. All beings I become. Going much further, the whole manifestation is I am. But even this manifestation is also like localization, individualization. I am the whole world. That is also limiting me. So break open that also. That it is Sat Atma, which is just there. That is the highest state of existence, which is Nirakara Nirguna Brahman. So breaking open, how one finger can be localized, individualized, and it will be always only this. But because I have all pervaded, I am that awareness from body, mind, it should open up as the whole manifestation. And then that also becomes limited. I feel I'm limited. And when that also opens up, the total freedom as just Atma comes. So that is the goal which we try to pursue through understanding, through the knowledge, through bhakti, by surrendering that entity as I'm an individual. I'm localized awareness. When that goes away, it is possible to reach that existence as Sat Atma. So, for that bhakti, when the whole mind is devoted towards that Supreme Being who has taken the form as Vishnu with Padaravinda, Shripati Padaravinda. It is the mind which is playing the game as I am the Jivatma. We become free through devotion. Through Jnana also, it helps. So this Bhakti and Jnana go hand in hand towards understanding, realizing, and experiencing. So we have to be really thankful, grateful, be at the feet of the Shankaracharya who has given us this wonderful Vishnu Shatpadi. This also reminds me of Hanuman's answer to Sri Rama when he asked, "Who am I to you?" He says, when I am in that awareness as I am the body, I am your servant, I want to serve you, I am your devotee, I am always at your feet, serving you every moment of my existence. Deha Buddhyata. Jiva, as Jiva, the Atma which is embodied in that awareness, I am very much part of you. That is where this Samudrohita Ranga. I am like the wave in the ocean which you are. I am very much part of you. Like the wave is part of the Samudra. When I am in the awareness that I am Atma, I am you. There is no difference between you and me. Satyapi bheda pagame. So we have to be thankful for that also. Wonderful shloka of that. I think I will take the next. 3 in the next class. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. 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 Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om.